What's going on, YouTube? Welcome in. Today we've got another beautiful build for you. Today we're building an all-budget AMD system. That's right, all AMD today. It's been quite a while since we've done one of these on the channel. Today we're going with a 7600X. No question, it's one of the best AM5 budget CPUs you can get. We're going to cool it with the SE214 coming from ID Cooling. Nice little white cooler. We're putting it all in the beautiful B650 Pro M coming in from ASRock, which is a nice little white and silver aesthetic board. With Wi-Fi, everything we need there. We have 6,000 CL30 RAM, which is really the sweet spot for AMD right now. You can do 64C32, really the 6,000 C30, just tried and true, it runs really good. We've got a 2 terabyte NVMe Gen 4 drive going there as well. And for the GPU, we've got the beautiful Sapphire Pure 7700 XT. That's right, so we can do some 1440p gaming. It's a beautiful little system. We're putting all in the beautiful CH360 MicroATX mid-tower case coming in from Deepcool as well. Got the beautiful RGB fans there, get the RGB on the cooler, RGB on the RAM, and we're going to add some nice little white braided cables to help accentuate the white with the white GPU as well. A little shooting link down below in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button to help us with the algorithm. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as well if you want to see more of these beautiful PC builds that we put over here on YouTube. If you want to catch us live on a raw like it is right now as we record this, you can join us any Monday, Wednesday, or Friday over our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/tints. We stream around 10 a.m. Eastern. We hope to see you soon. We got this going, chat. Let's go top down right away. There's a beautiful Pure card. There's the motherboard out. Our ASRock ProRS. I love how ASRock packages their board. Super secure, double-walled package. And on top of that, when you get the board, they also package the board itself with more foam on the back. You don't see a lot of board companies still doing that. I like those little extra steps that they do. I don't think they don't get the love they deserve. Everybody goes to the top 2 boards, either MSI or Asus, but for budget options and really good stability overall, ASRock's always done really good. I can't fault them for that. We're gonna start using them more in our budget systems. I think they have a really good place point for that. They have a really good value. If you're not looking for like a super high-end performance or overclocking system, the ASRock boards are really good. And even some of their higher-end boards are really good at overclocking. So, that being said, we're gonna use one here today. Let's get started off. First off, the 7600X is gonna be our CPU today. Really good CPU. Obviously, it's a Ryzen 5 6-core CPU on AM5. I have a 2020 340i. It's on E40 right now. We're doing E40 testing, so we're going all full E50 in it. But it felt really good. So we're data logging, doing all of our tuning on it right now. CPU's down the socket. Socket was perfectly fine. We're going to get our standoffs in place for the cooler, which we have the SE today coming in from ID Cooling. A really good budget cooler. They don't need a lot. These AM5 Ryzen 5 CPUs, even the 7600X base could even go off a stock cooler. The 7600X does use a single small tower cooler, which we're going to do here today. And the value of this little SE cooler is nice. It's got a little white little brushed aluminum on top. On top of that, it's got a nice little RGB fan that we're going to use. So it's a nice little white kind of aesthetic to go with the silverish board that we have here today. Boom and boom. You can see right where they go. Let's get these factory standoffs off really quick. Just going to break the tension really quick with a regular screwdriver, and then I'm going to hit it with the low torque electric shredder to get these out really quick. All right, put the cooler off to the side. We don't need it yet. NV2 is just a really good value. It's like 3,000 megabytes a second. It's not like the fastest drive in the world, but it's actually really good performing and a really good value. Let's get this NV2 down and in. It's a 2 terabyte drive today. There we go, down and in with the NV2. Take our cellophane off here. Put this back in place. All right, down and in. Go 1 and 2. All right, all in there, nice and secure. Next is we're gonna get our RAM out. How do we choose a good SSD? That's a good question. Typically, if you're going for a higher end, you want something with DRAM. If you want something more budget, like the NV2s, the SN580s from Western Digital. There's a few other team drives that are out there that are really good. There are a lot of good options. Go with a tried and true brand. Hynix has entered the market. Hynix makes all the die for all the drives. They're doing really good budget entry level drives as well. But there's our RAM today, guys. The Delta white RGB, white cooler RGB, white RAM, white case. You get the whole aesthetic we're going for today. The silver and white die on this, it's more silver board, but it helps to really tie in the white theme we're going for. Everything's all assembled on the motherboard. Again, we have the B650 Pro MRS coming in from ASRock. Nice little white and silver kind of feeling board that we can use here on the AM5. They don't make the Steel Legend in an MATX board. I really wish they do. For all the other sockets, all the other previous generations of CPUs and CPUs, they have made the ASRock Steel Legend for MATX. They do not for this, so we went with the Pro RS. Still a great looking board. We got the 7600X down in the socket, the 214 cooler standoffs in place from ID Cooling. We have a 2 terabyte NVMe drive down here in the socket. And again, we have 6000 CL30, 32 gigs of that right there for that beautiful Delta RGB RAM. Our slide this aside, let's get the case out today. Again, we have the CH360, great little MATX case. I think it's beautiful. Highly underrated case. Really, really clean. We'll leave the fans as they are. We're not messing with it today. The only thing we're gonna get rid of this onboard RGB controller. Always recommend going with built-in on the motherboard. Some of these case ones can be a little funky, a little finicky. We don't need the SATA power either, so we're just gonna remove it. The only thing we will obviously address on the back is all these wonky cables, because they kind of give it to you a little rough. We'll have to clean that up a little bit. I feel like Cooler Master has done a great job going from a lower and end budget supplier to a solid mid-tier, above average. I wouldn't say they're above average. I would say they're mid-tier. I wouldn't say above average. I would say they're entry level. They make a very good looking cooler, but in my opinion, I would not kind of put them in that upper echelon. I put them in the mid-tier. Same thing with Deepcool. Deepcool is definitely mid-tier. They're pushing with the Mystique. They're pushing for upper quality performing cooler, but like again, it's really comes down to different ones. All right, we're gonna move this over here. I'm gonna readjust all these cables here in a second. Just gonna move these down here. A little finicky in the back there. I'm gonna get ready to mount the mount the motherboard really quick. Fantastic fitment, which is really good to see. Noctua did really good. Now, obviously Noctua own the air cooling game. Deepcool's right behind them. Be Quiet's always been a really number 2. Some of their coolers now actually could potentially get outrank Noctua. What I'd love to see out of Be Quiet. Deepcool's right there, Thermalright's right there. NZXT tried to enter the space for like really a budget cooler with their RGB coolers. They were okay. I have been really impressed though with Deepcool's offerings for air coolers. They've done really, really well. In my opinion, like the top 4 are Noctua, Be Quiet, Thermalright, and obviously Deepcool. ID Cooling's in that space too now. They're doing really good budget coolers. Vitru V5 was like a kingpin a couple years ago. They had a couple of really good budget entry-level coolers, and with their air coolers like $30 that smoked the 212 from Cooler Master for the budget cooler. 5 heat pipes, really good fan that came with it. Get all of our screws in. This board has 3 M.2 slots, which is really cool to see out of a smaller offering. And this board's really good for like the 7600X. It only has the great thing about AM5 is they don't need a lot of power. They'll only pull like 120 watts, which a single EPS cable can handle. So it's a really good board. You could even do a 7000X 3D on this board, and because they're running like 70 watts. Most of the time in gaming, you're running like 70 watts, if that. So like this board could definitely run a 7000X 3D if you want to go for small form factor. I love that I'm seeing TikToks. I'm not even logged into our TikTok, Travis, and I'm getting the TikTok notification with the picture of me. All secure, show what you guys look like. Looking great. We're gonna run our RGB up and over. We're gonna run our fan probably down the back. The great thing is Deepcool gives you a lot of fan space here. So you take this fan and go all the way down to the bottom here from the back rear panels. When they have little daisy chain style fans here, chat, I don't like putting them like right in here where I can't hide the cable. I could probably drop it through and hide it there, but if it pops out in a customer and it looks there and just dangles there, it's gonna look kind of cheesy. So we're gonna put it down here on the bottom of the motherboard and still be able to zip tie and clear all these cables in the back. The RGB, actually, we could probably go down there as well. Is there RGB in the back? There is an RGB right here. So we have another RGB. The RGB can go right here, which is great. If we look at the front cables, we're gonna run the fan header and also the RGB header in a second. One thing I wish Deepcool would do on this one is give you white cables. I'm going with a really nice premium white MATX case, white cables on the fans. Why can't we do it on the front panel connections? You know, chat, that's obviously my only gripe on this case. And then on this one, they dropped the pass-throughs. The grommets on the CH560, the big brother, it has the pass-through grommets here, which I would like to see. I think that's my only gripe on this case. Let's move on to our front panel connections. We have Type-C, USB 3. We get these dialed in right now. We have dual USB 3 2.2 on here, which is really cool to see. We're gonna put it right here because we have plenty of black cables that be utilizing today's build. We're gonna put it right here. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that cable. It kind of bends the way it bends there. I want to put it on the bottom. The dual USB 3.0 is really nice to see in a motherboard. That's a really, really good value. All right, there's that. Next thing we are Type-C, which we will see. There we go. All right, front panel connections. We get these in first, then our HD audio. Then we'll zip tie some of the other cables on the bottom. Move on to our RGB and our fans. Then on to our power supply. Today we have 8 hard drive LED and power switch. The only thing I'd say, the other thing I don't like on this case, these are like a minor gripe, is there's no rear cleats or standoff zip tie spot. It's right here on the bottom part of the case. So you have to make the cable management a little bit tougher. All right, there it is, looking good so far. Got our power supply out today, 650 GL today. We're gonna be utilizing from MSI. Really good value, really good budget, 10-year warranty, flat cables. Go 650 GL, nice little power supply. Coming in from MSI. Get our cables we need out. Today we only need CPU, GPU, and motherboard, which is nice. CPU, second CPU, which you don't need. 24-pin main, SATA, Molex, they can all go in here. There's our EPS, what we'll need. We're gonna use a braided cable today. All right, so we'll grab both of the PCIe, because you don't always want to use the little, you can on this up to 250 watts, but when a more powerful power supply, make sure you're using both of the PCIe, so I'll have 2 PCIe. Everything in there, else can go in there. Power cable, other cables go in the pouch, go in the motherboard box. That's it. Those 4 cables are all we need. Get this power supply down and in. All right, there we go. And first off, let's get our EPS. I don't mind having black cables just for this right here. You won't really see them on the board as much. To keep the budget down, we just gave the free cables away for the braided cables away. We had a couple extra laying around, so we say, why not? All right, 24-pin main will be next, chat. There we go, nice and tight. See all the cable management we've already gotten done on the back, looking clean. Again, now we have to mount the decooler. Let's go top down really quick. There we go. All right, there we go. Cooler's all nice and secure. Next, we're gonna add our fan. All right. Get this clipped in. All right, chat, once you get this clipped in, we can move the cables, get them all connected. Move on to, there we go, all secure. Flip this up. All right, first is gonna be our PWM header. Our CPU fan. Guys ready for the GPU? A little monster. Today we have the Sapphire Pure 7700 XT. Beautiful. I mean, we're talking this competes a little bit with like how beautiful the Strix looks. A tough card. It's actually more like a tough. There it is. 7700 XT. Fantastic. Well, 1440p budget card that we're using in today's system. All right, here we go. The cable comes secure. Feed these down and in. Get this card in, chat. Here we go, the thunk. From this chungus of a card. Get ready for the thunk. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 7700 XT going in. There we go. Power cables in for the GPU. 1 and 2. All in with our power cables. I'll tuck these in now. Cable management is complete. Back there, you can see it. Looking good. There we go, chat. She is all done. Time to boot up this beautiful PC. Exclamation point light up in chat.
Guys, thanks for coming in and liking another video here on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button, help us with the algorithm. Make sure people find us and see all the beautiful PCs we build. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button as well. Remember, we build these systems live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/stints. Come over, hang out, chat it up with us, watch us build beautiful PCs for everybody in the community. And remember, let's go.